And as we mentioned last week, Apple fans geeked out as the iconic gadget company unveiled a pile of new must haves along with lots of new software. Plus, has the TikTok ownership problem been solved? Brand and digital strategist Fisher, who can be found on X, Threads, and Instagram with username at Fisher, and through his website, Fisher.media, joins us now with the details. Good morning, Fisher.
Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Thanks. Let's start with TikTok now. It looks like, just the other day, I heard President Trump, he was asked outside of the Marine one, somebody asked him, are you going to have to extend the TikTok current extension? And I kept thinking, if he extends this again, this
Yes.
doesn't look real. It looks bad. But now it looks like they have some kind of an ownership partnership. There'll be a TikTok USA. Tell us about that.
Sure. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has stated that a framework deal between the U.S. and China has been reached with terms that have been set since March or April. Now, keep in mind, we just keep kicking this down the street, the road, the highway, across the Atlantic, across the Pacific, whatever, because we keep sort of talking about the same thing over and over again. Now, while the framework had been agreed on earlier in the year, it had been delayed by China's response to President Trump's tariffs. The deal is expected to include new investors alongside existing ByteDance investors. Now, ByteDance is the China-based company that is the parent company to TikTok. It's anticipated to be finalized within the next 30 to 45 days, although sources, of course, requested whatever, they want to be anonymous, due to the confidential negotiations going on. Now, it's rumored that Oracle will continue its existing cloud services. It's a major US company, so they'll still be on board as hosting all of the data for TikTok as part of the agreement. Now, again, negotiations have dragged on, and as you mentioned, President Trump extending the deadline 3 times since taking office in January, and then I think it was April, and then September, or 45. I think they went by 45-day increments. Now we have rumor that there's a fourth deadline going to extend to December 16th, so they can kind of wrap all this up. The White House, TikTok, Oracle have not immediately responded to requests for comment. And again, this ban, it was a law set by Congress in 2024. Then when Trump got into office, he kicked the can down the road, and that's where we've been at. So in theory, this is still a ban that Trump just keeps moving the deadline until we come up with something. I do want to state something that people kind of forget. The United States has to negotiate with China to work out a deal for a company that isn't owned by China to do business with us and divest. If you think about that, normally when companies work together, they don't get the countries involved. So keep in mind that TikTok is still, as it sits on most phones of people that are watching this, still a Chinese-based company where they can access your data. And you know me,
Yeah.
I'm big on data privacy. And so it's still
Yes.
a Chinese company. And most companies, again, you're not negotiating with India directly for it, to deal with a company based in India. So China is we're dealing with China for TikTok.
And again, just to clarify, we're talking about 80% ownership by the US, 20% by China. The question then becomes, will China still have access to the data? And I'm guessing one of the things that the Trump administration is saying is, no, you cannot have that access, or else there's no deal here. I'm guessing
Of
that's the
course.
deal. All right, so
Yeah,
that's
that's the
essential.
deal.
But
But of course, again,
they still
China
get the
is
algorithm.
in. Yeah, the algorithm needs to be, it needs to be the algorithm. It can't be a spin-off of the algorithm because that's what makes TikTok. That's the special sauce. But I will also add that, and you've done stories on it. There's been stories, all over the media about about China is in our infrastructure, in our
Mhm.
telecommunications. So yeah, don't touch our data on TikTok, man. Like, fingers
Mhm.
crossed.
Well, the other thing too, and for people wondering why this timing, in the next week or two, the president, I believe, is going over to Beijing, and there's
Mhm.
all this trade and tariff negotiation about to happen. So I'm suspecting China gave an inch so that they get a little bit. That's the game, and nothing is done for nothing. Let's put it
Right.
that way, right?
I know
That's the
probably
game that
all
they're
this should be finalized when Trump meets with Xi Jinping.
I'm guessing. But the truth is, in China, there really is no private property, even though it's a private
Correct.
company. You have, as you pointed out clearly, that they still have to. They're not a Chinese company, but they're a Chinese company. So
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's why Mr. Fisher,
Wink, wink,
right
nod,
here.
nod.
Yeah. Fisher here will not download TikTok on his phone for a reason, and I think we should
Do
all
not have it.
take that. Let's talk about Apple. Apple, look, I'm not an Apple guy, but they had some
I
cool
know.
stuff last week.
I
Talk
still talk
about
to you.
all yeah. Talk about and there's also software that's going to be coming up.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the products and the software.
Yeah, and we talked about this last week. So they released three phones. The iPhone 17, which is the base model, it has a larger screen, better selfie camera. All of them have new chips. It's the A19. It's just depending on the phone, they get fancier. The iPhone 17 Air is supposed to be the smallest iPhone, the thinnest iPhone ever. That's been sort of debunked, but it's a very thin, ultra thin design, 6.6-inch display, and again, the bigger chip. It only has one rear camera, a single camera, so no telephoto lens, and that's to keep the thinness of the camera. There's the iPhone 17 Pro, which is my favorite, the Pro Max, and then we have two new watches released. Apple Watch Series 11, which is just the next model, and then the Apple Watch Ultra 3, which is the huge update. It's the watch, basically, you can scuba dive with it, you can go hike with it, and if you lose cell service, you'll be able to connect via satellite. All the Apple Watches, the two, have 5G chips in it as well for cellular connectivity. Another big rollout was the AirPods Pro 3. They have heart rate sensing in it, hearing aid feature, and live translation. And the live translation is also rolled out in the new operating system for all Apple devices. So if you have an Apple device, period, Apple TV, iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods, HomePod, on and on, I know it all. The Macs, the iPads, all of it. New update, it's operating system 26. Now, iPhone was just on 18, operating system 18, and then iPad. What they did was they made it in line with the year. Instead of just this random number of the 18th operating system they've had since they launched the device, it is now in line with the year. So operating system 26, obviously 2026 as we go into it. So all these OSs will be released in September, October, and then carry you through the next year. So that's why all the OSs are now operating system 26. So go update. Besides great features like upgrades to Apple HomeKit, CarPlay, the ability soon to add your passport to your wallet, also the live translation. Now, Ken, you know 5 languages, so
Seven,
it's the
seven,
plebes.
seven.
Whatever, man. Okay. Who's going to test you? 10. You got 10, 15 languages. So you got 7. So you may not need these, but basically you put the AirPods in your ear, and it's not specific to AirPods Pro 3. Some of the prior versions will also allow this. And then if you're in a situation where you don't understand somebody to language barrier, it will process it, and on your phone, it will it can process it like you're at the United Nations. So you'll start hearing English when someone's speaking another language. You could also speak back and then have your phone translate it back to the language, and you can show. Obviously, the best situation would be where you're in a conversation with 2 people wearing AirPods that can do live translation, and then you're literally at the United Nations and hearing the English translation, and then they hear their translation in their ears. So great features. I think at minimum, again, if you don't participate in the new upgrades, update your OS. So go to any of your Apple devices and do the update. And most importantly, out of all the great features, you also obviously have security upgrades to everything. So it's important just on a security basis to always keep your devices to the most recent version out there.
So it's nice to know that Apple is finally doing what Samsung has been doing forever,
I
because
can't
this is
hear
the
you. Is this
Samsung.
breaking up?
Yeah,
I can't.
This is the Samsung S25 Ultra. It's called the S25 because
Oh,
what year are we in?
I don't know.
1824? Yeah, no. See,
Yeah.
that's,
No, no, not
you
the year
know,
you were born. We're in
yeah,
2025.
yeah.
It is
Welcome.
important to know that
Welcome. Good that you
all the
finally came around there, Fisher.
all the operating systems are available now. You can order all of these, the iPhones and the Apple Watches and the AirPods 3 by going to apple.com. There's probably deals through your cell company as well. And they deliver on Friday. So the phones and the watches aren't out yet. They will all deliver, or you can pick them up on Friday.
Yes, just make sure, as Fisher just said, make sure you update your software because otherwise somebody will exploit the issue. Although it doesn't
Yes.
happen as often with Apple products, but you never know. There's always some geek out there who has nothing better to do. All right. I appreciate you, sir, as we always do when we have you on here. Brandon Digital Strategist Fisher, who can be found on X, Threads, and Instagram with username @Fisher and through his website, fisher.media. And before I let you go, by the way, I actually went online and looked at Tim Cook's. I watched because of you. Fisher told me, do not call me at this particular time when they
No,
did the
1 o'clock
presentation.
last Tuesday. Don't do it.
I went online and I looked. Tim Cook, what a slickly produced. It must have cost $100 million to do that presentation. When they got to the point of the gentleman who dropped of a heart attack, not expecting that he would have a heart attack, but his watch, I guess,
Yep.
said, "I see you're having a problem. Should I call for help?" And he got help. It saved his life. And I actually got emotional. That's how well produced the videos are at Apple. I actually got emotional for the guy because I have
And
AFib and I'm thinking that thing literally saved his life. It's not
yeah,
just a
and
gimmick. It saved his
no.
life.
Yeah, and there's plenty of examples of that. And again, they don't diagnose anything, so it might say that you have a higher heart rate than normal. With the new watch, they're also going to, I believe, it's blood pressure, so you'll be able to, monitor your blood pressure in your watch. So again, it's things to indicate that you may want to go see a doctor or get it checked out. But yeah, they don't diagnose anything, and they're quick to say it, but they will tell you that something seems elevated, and you should take a look.
Yeah, and pay attention to it when it says that. Fisher, thank you so much. We'll catch you
Have a
again
great
next
night,
week, my friend.
afternoon.
You,
See ya.
you,
Morning.
whatever. Thank you.